hair, maybe. He's got dark hair and a beard. That's about it, really.
Well, what else? That's Drew McIntyre. What else do you?
All right.
You look like Drew McIntyre.
Oh, exactly. You look like Sheamus. But
Welcome to Northern Lights. I'm Dwayne.
I'm Mark, and today we're just going to be discussing our predictions for the upcoming UFC London card, which, Dwayne, we were going to go see, but on the resale sites, they were looking up north of 600, 700 quid. So I think just watching through the TV is fine, but at least in the UK, it's on at a decent time.
Yeah, we'd have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch it. It's such a bastard, though, isn't it, with those tickets going for like 600 quid?
It's a fucking pain, seriously. But anyway, I sort of cherry-picked a few fights that, I've either myself or yourself have followed a little bit. So instead of going through the entire card, I just thought, we'd cherry-pick a few. But the one that I'm drawn to is Paul Craig versus Nikita Krylov, if that's how you pronounce it. I was surprised.
I assume so.
If this is the order of if you have a look at the fight schedule card, if this is the order of the fights, I was surprised that he was so far down.
Yeah, but I guess it's kind of like, when we said that Chandler and Gagey opened up the UFC card, and we loved that there was a big fight right from the start. So we'll probably actually prefer it. It's a good opener.
It is, yeah, but I mean, I'm not even sure if it's on the. Oh no, it might be the main card, but if it was on the prelims,
the main card. Yeah,
if it were on the prelims, I'd be very surprised. But because I really like Paul Craig, he was. I was surprised that he hasn't fought since his last win, which was that. When he had Jamal Hill in a triangle choke and he dislocated his arm, but it looked snapped. It would bounce around like a fucking Stretch Armstrong. And he's elbowing him in the head as well at the same time. He's just a monster.
He kind of looks like Drew McIntyre a bit as well, doesn't he? That.
Is that just his Scottish? Scottish, and he wears a kilt.
He does look like him. If he had long hair.
If he had long hair, maybe. He's got dark hair and a beard. That's about it, really.
Well, what else? That's Drew McIntyre. What else do you...
All right.
You look like Drew McIntyre.
Oh, exactly. You look like Sheamus. but the fucking yeah, I mean, I was surprised. I mean, I'll be totally honest. I'm not too sure on this Nikita. I'm not entirely sure, but maybe just because I'm a little bit of a fanboy of Paul Craig, I really hope he can get it done. And I'd say this is a bit of a stab in the dark. I'll say submission round 2.
Yeah, I think I'm probably going to follow you there. I think Krylov, I think he's lost by submission a couple of times, and Paul Craig, he's really good with his jiu-jitsu, so I'm going to say submission as well.
Yeah,
I'm going to just copy a second round as well. I think you're right on the money there. Yeah,
no, we are always wrong, Dwayne. So I can't wait to do our reactions video for this.
Me, you, and Shale Sonnen are always wrong.
Exactly. That's the only time I'll ever be compared to Uncle Chale being wrong. The next one I'll cherry picking is Paddy Pimblett, which is only his second fight in the UFC. But I don't know, did you follow his career before the UFC? Because I personally didn't. I just watched UFC because it's too much. We were talking about this before. It's too fucking much. If you were to follow every organization and the post-fight interviews, press conferences, and all that kind of stuff, you'd never have any time to yourself. You'd have to quit your job. So just UFC. So I've only actually properly seen his only fight.
Well, I saw his fight when he fought on, was it Cage Warriors? Because they did a fight the same night that Conor beat Alvarez.
Okay.
And it's that one, where he was sick. You've seen that clip of Paddy being sick?
I think so, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, everyone thought it was blood, but he said in an interview recently, he said, "Oh, no, I said I drank a hot chocolate and ate Ferrero Rochers just before the fight."
Right, okay, yeah.
So he just chucked up chocolate all over.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting fight. I'm surprised, actually, that Paddy's not the main event, in all honesty. Like, I love Aspinall. I think he's great, but I think Paddy's just so popular right now. But I get
Yeah, I mean, I'd level with you there. I am a fan of Aspinall, and I'm glad he's the main event.
Yeah, 100%.
My personal opinion aside, because I don't really like Paddy.
No,
unpopular opinion, I know, but I want to see him eat his words. I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out. I want to see him eat his words and get fucking clean.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It would be funny, wouldn't it?
You know what I'm like. I'm like that with any hype train. I want to see derailed, and then I can become a fan of someone.
Yeah. So you'll only like Paddy once he gets battered. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I wasn't a fan of Izzy until he had his first loss, and then when I seen him in Auckland, I'm his best mate.
Oh yeah, and Izzy best buds.
I don't. Do you know much about Rodrigo Vargas, who was fighting?
So I don't know a lot about it. I've seen some of his fights, and he's got some big hands, really big strong hands, but he's really wide, like looping hooks. So I think Paddy will either catch him as he's coming in, or a lot of people forget Paddy specializes in jiu-jitsu. He's not actually a striker. So I think he's just going to drag him around and submit him. I think there's going to be a lot of submissions that night.
To be honest, Dwayne, I'm going to go opposite. I think Paddy's going to come out swinging again like he did before. I know that was his big debut, so maybe he wanted to create a fuss, but I think he's going to do the same again. But because you watched that last fight, he got rocked, and maybe I think he's going to come out a little overzealous, a little too.
Bit too keen, bit too eager.
Yeah, maybe. And maybe this is just more hope rather than I think. But I hope it's a round one knockout against Paddy.
Yeah.
Then I'll be his biggest fan next week. I'm like, well, he can bounce back, can't he? But that's my prediction.
Yeah.
After that, another one is Dan Hooker is coming down to featherweight.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this?
Well, I think Arnold Allen's he's a really good fighter. He's had an 8-fight win streak. And, I think he's about 3 inches shorter than... No, 4 inches shorter than Dan Hooker.
Yeah,
and Dan Hooker's Dan Hooker's massive as a lightweight, I feel like. He's big. He's a big lightweight. So I think it all depends. I think what's Dan Hooker's cut like? Like, yeah, he's made the weight before, but never to fight it. He made it just to test it. If he can come and he's healthy and he's not knackered, I think he'll batter him. I think, they're two strikers on the feet. Hooker's got that massive height advantage. He's bigger, he's stronger. I think he'll knock him out in the second or third round, I think.
Right. I think because Dan, to be quite honest, he needs a win. I know he got that decision victory last year against Gastelum's younger brother. But, I think he definitely needs a win. So I think he's going to come out a little bit more, not hesitant, but just pacing himself. And I think he's going to get a decision victory.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. But it's what we do, though, isn't it? We always, no matter who's in the division, whatever ranking they are, you compare them to the champion. We've said this before. So you look at that and you're like, how would Dan Hooker fare? I mean, this time will tell. If the weight cut, like you say, if that isn't too strenuous, if it does that, if he can carry on and, he maybe gets a couple of notes, and then he could maybe get flown straight up.
Will he be fighting, Arnold Allen's ranked 7th, so then he could then fight maybe Korean Zombie after that, maybe Max Holloway. I'd love to see.
I'm going to say, do you mean he could fight Korean Zombie when he loses to Volk?
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
yeah, of course. Not for the belt. No, a Zombie's not coming out with the belt.
Yeah, I think they'd be good. A few notable wins. Yeah, I think so. Right, then, Dwayne, the main event then. So we didn't actually know if it was going to go on because I heard a rumor of,
Russians not getting the visas.
Yeah, because he's Russian, if he were going to get a visa and stuff. But I'm glad that it seems to be going forward. I mean, you watch tomorrow, the event will be cancelled or something. But, I mean, obviously, I'm rooting for Tom.
Yeah. 100%.
He's just such a humble... in his interviews and all that kind of stuff, he just seems so humble, just down to earth. Yeah. I know that isn't a selling point exactly, but he's a great fighter as well. That's the thing. He's been on a tear.
Yeah, he's excellent. I'm really curious to see how he'll go against Volkov. And for me, the issue isn't is Aspinall a good enough fighter? I think he is. I think can he deal with going out into the O2 and there's 20,000 people all screaming at him, that's so much pressure. Fine, he's fought before, but he hasn't had that kind of crowd. I don't think. Can he Can he deal with that pressure? Can he deal with that? And I think if he does, I think he'll run rings around Volkov.
Well, I think if you've seen the recent interview that he was talking about, he said, "I don't believe that anyone outside the top 10 can really contest with me. But everyone's got a puncher's chance sort of thing. But his speed and his submissions and all that kind of stuff. Because you look in his last fights, he makes quick work of people.
Yeah,
Volkov will be a good test because Volkov's got some, he's got some fairly notable fights under his belt. And if Aspinall can run through him, we might end up getting that matchup of him and Tai Tuivasa maybe one day. I don't want. But I did want to see it, but like you said, I don't because I don't want either of them to lose. But I want both.
Double knockout.
Yeah, double knockout. I'll be happy with that. But that's another time, if Tom can do it, he'll be a notable name in heavyweight talks.
100%. I mean, because Volkov's a massive name, and and the title picture's crazy now in the heavyweight division. Like, what's going to happen? We don't have a clue.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if he does that, I mean, you never know who they could put him against. They could give him another really big test, like Curtis Blades or something like that. These people that we're naming might have fights already arranged, but yeah. I mean, it's just where your imagination takes you, though, isn't it? Because you're always thinking of a ladder for them. It's not even me fighting, but you just always think of, if he does that, then he does that.
Yeah, you just run tournaments in your head, yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, no matter what we think, the matchmakers are going to do what they want anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking for Aspinall?
I'm going to say decision victory for Aspinall. I don't think Volkov's he's got a durable chin. I think it's going to go the full 5 rounds. And it'd be a nice test as well for Aspinall because, like I say, it makes quick work of people. I think decision.
I think first round submission for Aspinall. I think he's going to come out a little bit too eager, too excited. And I think he's going to just take him down. He's like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Just go mental. I think he's going to drag him down and choke him out.
I mean, in an ideal world, yeah. But
yeah,
we'll see. But yeah, that's been our predictions for UFC London.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and comment. It really helps us out.